Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Let's Taste with the Intrepid Wino. My name is James Scaresbrook and thank you very much for joining me. I am very excited to be tasting a range of wines that have been submitted from Hill-Smith Family Vineyards by the lovely Pippa Merritt. And this is part two of a three-part series on some rosé wines. We are in spring now, although you probably wouldn't be able to tell because the weather's been all over the place. And rosé is something that people start to drink a lot more of this time of year. Generally, obviously you serve it chilled, so it's generally a quite refreshing wine. Rosé can offer a little bit more, some much more serious, elegant styles of rosé, fantastic with food. But if you want a really good barbecue wine that is going to please a lot of people, rosé is generally where I go as far as recommendations. The second rosé I'm going to be tasting in this part, in part two, is called La Maschera, which recommended retail is $22. This is the 2016. It is from the Barossa Valley, and it is labelled as a Rosé of Granaxia, which sounds Spanish, or sounds at least Basque, but it is apparently a blend of Grenache. Apparently Granaxia is the Italian synonym for Grenache. I've never heard that word before. Generally, I've heard it referred to as Alicante in Tuscany. And there's a little bit of Sangiovese in there. So lovely. I do like this packaging. Obviously, if you can see it, it's supposed to represent carnival masks, Maschera. And so, hopefully, I'm not sure. When I first looked at the label, I thought it sounded a little bit like a Spanish influence. I thought it was going to be Spanish in style, particularly Grenache being a much more prominent variety in Spain. But apparently, it is an Italian influence. So let's have a look what it has to offer. It's a little bit paler in colour than that first Yalumba Y Series rosé that I tasted. It's still reasonably pink, but there's a little bit of kind of salmony bronze coming through. A little bit more subdued on the nose, a little bit more subtle, not as exuberant as the Y Series. Seeing slightly more complex characters here. It's more that kind of raspberry, slightly crunchier red berries, not very ripe characters. It's fairly lean. It has sort of more dried herb elements, and then it's got even a little bit of earthiness. It's got a dustiness to it as well. Let's taste. Not as forward on the palate, more on the mid palate now. It's got even a bit of a sweet meatiness to it. Again, the fruits are consistent with the aromatics. They are more in that kind of raspberry, sort of pomegranate kind of realm. There's a little bit more texture here. And this is a slightly more serious rosé. I think in part one I did sort of suggest to people that rosé, I recommend spending a little bit more. This is kind of what I was talking about. It is much more adaptable with different kinds of food because it's more complex, there's more texture, there's a little bit more presence on the palate rather than being lovely and fresh and very straightforward red fruits. So I think it's possible I have this a little bit too cold. I would suggest not serving it too cold because of those complex characters. But that's really interesting actually. I think that's quite a lovely rosé. It is a little bit subtle. It's possibly a little bit too young at 2016. It might be interesting to see this in a couple more months, maybe early next year even, sort of tail end of summer. But no, for $22, again, that's a very, very good wine. So thank you very much, Pippa, for sending me the samples, obviously, and to everyone at Hill-Smith Family Vineyards. Thanks very much, guys, for watching this part two tasting. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. Please leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Make sure you subscribe to the Intrepid Wino channel and check out some of the other videos. Come visit me at intrepidwino.com. I'd love to hear from you via the website, and do have a look at some of the episodes of my podcast, the Vincast. But until next time, cheers.